Welcome to the Uploading Web Pages video. In this video we're going to look at transferring files from your local PC onto your website. To do that we're going to use an FTP program called FileZilla, which you can get from this website here, and it's a free open source client. If you want more background on FTP, then you can find more on the website buildyourwebsite.co.uk, uploading web pages. Now, when you transfer files from your PC to the website, it's very similar to copying files between folders on your local PC. And to do that, what you do is you just open up the folders, open up the two folders on the PC, and I just highlight the files that I wanted to copy, and I just drag them over to the other folder. And that's what we're going to be doing with the FTP client. The only difference being is the folders aren't on the same machine, they're actually on totally different machines. One's on your local PC, the other is on a remote server. So we're going to be using the FileZilla program. The first stage of using the program is to set up the account. It has to know where to transfer the files to. So we use Site Manager to do this. You can see I've already configured a few sites here. The first thing you'll have to do is configure yourself a new site. So new site here. We'll give it a name. And then we have to enter in the details. Now the host is simply the domain name. In my case it's Build Your Website. You just have to replace that with whatever your domain name is. Notice the absence of the www. You don't need it normally. You may, depending on your host, need to use prefix FTP, so it may be ftp.buildyourwebsite.co.uk, but your host should tell you that. We don't need to configure a port number if we're using the standard ports, which you will be. And we need to configure a username, password, which will again be given to you by your web host. And type it in there. Now we're actually ready to use this, and we can simply just connect and start transferring files. But a useful option is the advanced option here, which lets you configure the directory on your local machine that you're going to transfer the files from. And a directory on the remote machine where you're going to transfer the files to. Now normally you transfer it into the root directory. Now in my case I'm actually going to be using a subdirectory called test, and so I'll enter it in here. You should notice one thing: on the remote directory I use // because it's a web server, and on the local directory I use / because it's a Windows machine. So do be aware of those. I say normally you won't need to configure the remote directory. Okay, now I've done with the connection. I just press OK. There's the main program window, and to connect to that site now I just select it from the drop down box and I connect to Steve's site. Now I'm going to connect to the one I've already configured here. Now you can see a few things. It's a bit scrunched up the window, but it's connected to my local directory here, which I told it to, and it's connected to a remote directory on the remote host, which is Build Your Website here. And now all I do is to highlight the files I want to transfer, and I right click them and I can upload them, or you can even drag and drop them over there, and you can see in the window there they're being transferred, and there they are over on the remote server. Now once they're there you can actually manage them, you can rename them, you can delete them, you can set the attributes. It's as simple as that. Once you've finished transferring the files you simply just disconnect the server. Now, it is actually possible not just to transfer files from your PC to your web server, you can even transfer them the opposite way, again by dragging and drop them. Okay, I hope you found that video useful. Don't forget you can find more information on the website here. Until next time, bye.